Hey everybody, it's June 22nd, 2025, and I want to talk about an issue that we all have concerning our past and what we've done. Sometimes, no matter what we do, it feels as if we cannot wash some of the blood we have on our hands. It's a difficult situation to be in, because you would think that the guilt that you felt will burn up the remaining feelings of shame and incrimination that you feel. You may have poured your heart out to the person or people that you harmed, and you still cannot get rid of the guilt. And years and years, maybe 80% of your life has passed since you did what you did that you regret, and you can't move past that dark stone that you hold in your heart for what you have done. And what I have found is that this is a complex spiritual surgery to deal with, and you would have to first admit that you were wrong. And that may seem obvious, but that's a pretty tough thing to do when you don't agree with and what you did doesn't represent who you think you are. To admit that you were wrong in the first place is the first step, and it's probably one of the toughest steps of this. So after you admit that you were wrong, and after you admit that you should not have done what you've done, the next step probably is to confess to the party at hand. And this is a big step too, because once you make that approach and you talk it out with a party that you hurt or harmed or took away from or whatever you did, the awesome thing about people in this world is that they will forgive many and great things that you have done to them if you just have that conversation of openness and honesty with them. They will forget. They will tell you not to worry about it. They will say, "Oh, that's okay. I understand. I've done that to other people too." You know, they will be the most understanding people that you've ever met, that you have done wrong to. So that conversation is very important, and it's very liberating once you see the good in people's heart and the forgiveness in people's hearts. Now, I understand that some things that we have done, that some of us have done, we can't talk to the person, or we can't force ourselves to talk to the person directly. And that's understandable. That happens, and the way around that would probably be to empty the contents of your pride, empty the contents of your hoarding of security items that could be spiritual, material, mental, emotional. Give yourself a liquidation to get rid of anything that stinks of the wrong kind of spirit in you. Liquidate it in any form that you can, and try to start anew, and try to walk a different path than you were heading down when you've done that wrong. And that's the beginning. That's the beginning of a new chapter where you can do much more good than you have done wrong in the past. So getting blood off your hands sometimes is impossible, but by degrees you can make it more bearable. And the easiest way to get around this is to love the Father. And when you love the Father, your actions change. And when your actions change honestly, and truthfully, and they're changing the deepest part of you, that blood evaporates and flakes off your hands, and you are forgiven by the Father. And ultimately, when you are forgiven by the Father, it is the easiest thing to forgive yourself. Because by that point of following the Father and trusting in the Father and changing your life, you will see that you were a child when you committed that wrong act. You will see that you were blind. You will see that you were ignorant, that you were lost in this world. And when you could realize and love yourself for being that vulnerable, lost person that did that wrong thing, then all is right, and the world is new, and the sun rises again. So if you can't get that blood off your hand, change in the deepest way you can if you really care about ridding yourself of that guilt. If you want to get the blood off your hands because you are dogged by your memories, add a little depth to that pain that you feel, a little depth to that disturbance in your spirit, and you will free yourself eventually. But it requires change. I hope this helps.